Welcome back to DIS, Dis Idiot Speaks. I am Dis Idiot. You're listening to me speak yet again. Last week we delved the research of wizards and the deep arcane truths and how it can mess with their minds and cause them to act strangely. Freshen up. So that was last week, a School of Madness about esoteric fragments and just like having your mind be broken because of all the forbidden knowledge you learn. This week we are doing the homebrew subclass of the newest class of Dungeons and Dragons. It is called the Artificer. It is another magic devoted class where instead of using magic from someone you worship or something you worship, or with a contract with another being, or something from inside, or studying something, or the magic of music, this one is you use the physical elements itself to produce magical effects. The Artificer. This homebrew subclass is called the Alchemist, which is actually an official subclass already. This does seem pretty similar, but also a little more well developed, or a little more comprehensive. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, the Alchemist, the Artificer Alchemist. Artificer Specialists, Alchemist. The Alchemist... Alchemist. The Alchemist is an expert at combining reagents to produce mystical creations. Alchemists use their creations to give life and to leech it away. Alchemy is the oldest of artificer traditions, and its versatility has long been valued during times of war and peace. Tool proficiency. When you adopt this specialization at 3rd level, you gain proficient with Alchemist's supplies. If you already have this proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other type of artisan's tools of your choice. Alchemist spells. Starting at 3rd level, you will always have certain spells prepared after you reach particular levels in this class, as shown in the Alchemist spells table. These spells count as Artificer spells for you, but they don't count against the number of Artificer spells you prepared. At 3rd level, you get Healing Word and Ray of Sickness. At 5th level, you get Flaming Sphere and Melth's Acid Arrow. At 9th, you get Gaseous Form and Mass Healing Word. At 13th level, you get Blight and Death Ward. And at 17th level, you get Cloud Kill and Raise Dead. Experimental Elixir. Beginning at 3rd level, when you finish a long rest, you can magically produce 3 experimental elixirs, each one in a different empty flask you touch. For each elixir, first roll on the experimental elixir table and then on the beneficial elixirs or detrimental elixirs as applicable for the elixir's effect. For beneficial elixirs, the effect is triggered when someone drinks the elixir. As an action, a creature can drink the elixir or administer it to a willing or incapacitated creature. For detrimental elixirs, the effect is triggered as described in each elixir's description. You create your experimental elixirs using alchemist supplies that you must have on your person, and any elixir you create with this feature lasts until it is used or until the end of your next long rest. You can make your elixirs tasteless, or you can give them any flavor that you want. When you reach certain levels in this class, you can create more elixirs at the end of a long rest. 4 at 6th level, 5 at 9th level, 6 at 12th level, 7 at 15th level, and 8 at 18th level. As normal, roll for each elixir's effect separately, and each elixir requires its own flask. You can create additional experimental elixirs by expending a spell slot of 1st level or higher for each one. When you do so, you use your action to create the elixir in an empty flask you touch, and you choose the elixir's effect from the beneficial elixirs or the detrimental elixirs table. Starting at 5th level, you can choose the effect of 2 potions you create after a long rest instead of rolling. At 9th level, this number increases to 3, and at 15th level, you can choose all of the created elixir's effects. On to these tables that they're talking about. There's going to be a lot of tables here. So elixir type is a D100. From 1 to 50 is beneficial elixirs. And from 51 to 100 is detrimental elixirs. The beneficial elixirs are a total of 12. So you use a D12 to roll. The effects are: on 1, it's a healing elixir. The drinker regains a number of hit points equal to 2d4 plus 2. 2 is swiftness. The drinker's walking speed increases by 10 feet for 1 hour. 3 is resilience. The drinker gains a +1 bonus to AC for 10 minutes. 4 is boldness. The drinker can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to every attack roll and saving throw they make for the next minute. 5 is flight. The drinker gains a flying speed of 10 feet for 10 minutes. 6 is transformation. The drinker's body is transformed as if by the alter self spell. The drinker determines the transformation caused by the spell, the effects of which last for 10 minutes. 7 is dark vision. The drinker gains dark vision out to a range of 60 feet, or its existing dark vision range is increased by 60 feet for 1 hour. 8 is climbing. The drinker gains a climbing speed equal to its walking speed and the ability to climb, move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving its hands free for 10 minutes. 9 is beast speech. The drinker is affected by the Speak with Animal spell for 10 minutes. 10 is resourcefulness. The drinker feels giddy and effective, gaining an advantage on certain ability checks in the next hour. The target chooses the checks before or after rolling. The magic runs out after the target has used it on a number of checks equal to your intelligence modifier minimum of 1. 11 is invisibility. The drinker becomes invisible along with everything they carry or wear for 10 minutes or until the drinker attacks or casts a spell. 12 is growth. The drinker gains the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1 minute. And then detrimental elixirs there's a D12, 12 of those as well, so it's a D12. And let's go for that. Number 1 is sweet aroma. When you open this vial, its contents evaporate. Any beast within 10 feet of you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for 10 minutes, or until you or your allies do anything harmful to them. Upgrade: when you reach 9th level, the aroma affects all beasts within 20 feet of you. 2 is elixir of love. This potion must be ingested to affect a creature. The next time the drinker sees a creature within 10 minutes after drinking this elixir, they must succeed on wisdom saving throw or become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. Upgrade: when you reach 9th level, if the creature is of a species and gender the drinker is normally attracted to, they regard it as their true love while charmed. 3. Smoke concoction. You choose a point within 20 feet of you to throw this concoction. The grenade creates a 20-foot radius sphere of smoke centered on that point for 1 minute. The sphere spreads around corners and its area is heavily obscured. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the smoke lasts for 10 minutes. 4 is Withering Concoction. This concoction can be ingested, or you can throw this concoction by making a ranged attack against a creature or plant within 20 feet of you using either your intelligence or dexterity modifier. The drinker or the target of the attack takes 3d8 necrotic damage and cannot regain hit points until the end of your next turn. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the necrotic damage increases to 5d8. 5 is Fire Concoction. You can throw the vial to a point within 20 feet of you. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 3d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. That fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the grenade affects all creatures within 10 feet of the point of origin and deals 5d6 fire damage. 6 is Acid Concoction. You can throw the vial to a point within 20 feet of you. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d6 acid damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the grenade affects all creatures within 10 feet of the point of origin and deals 5d6 acid damage. 7 is Booming Concoction. You can throw the vial to a point within 20 feet of you. Each creature within 10 feet of that point must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from the point. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. In addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the area of effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away from that point. And the explosion emits a boom audible out to 300 feet. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the grenade affects all creatures and objects within 15 feet of the point of origin, and it deals 3d8 thunder damage. 8 is Elixir of Shrinking. This potion can be ingested or thrown at the feet of a creature within 20 feet of you, causing a small explosion that releases the magic within it. The drinker or target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be affected by the reduce spell of the enlarged reduce spell for 1 minute. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the effect lasts for 10 minutes. 9 is Soporific. This potion can be ingested or thrown at the feet of a creature within 20 feet of you, causing a small explosion that releases the magic within it. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or fall asleep for 1 minute or until it takes damage or someone uses an action to wake them up. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the effect lasts for 10 minutes. 10 is Slipperiness. You can throw this vial to a point you can see within 20 feet of you. Slick oil covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on that point and turns it into difficult terrain for 1 minute. When the oil appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there must also succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the oil covers an 20-foot square area. Truth Serum 11. This serum must either be ingested or injected. The receiver must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or not be able to speak a deliberate lie for 10 minutes. The receiver is aware of this effect. Upgrade starting at 9th level, the serum's effect lasts for 1 hour. Finally, poison gas at 12, you can throw the vial containing this gas to a point within 20 feet of you. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d6 poison damage and is poisoned until the end of its next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage and is not poisoned. Upgrade, starting at 9th level, the grenade affects all creatures within 10 feet of the point of origin and deals 3d6 poison damage. Next up is Alchemical Savant. At 5th level, you develop masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. Whenever you cast a spell using your Alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, or create an item using your Alchemist's supplies either by a class feature, such as Experimental Elixir, or using the normal crafting rules, the spell or item gains a bonus to 1 roll. That roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage, and the bonus equals your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. Improved regions. Starting at 9th level, you can incorporate improved regions into some of your works. Whenever a creature drinks a beneficial experimental elixir you created, the creature gains temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1 temporary hit point. Your detrimental elixirs are upgraded as described in their descriptions. At the end of a long rest, you can create a number of potions equal to your intelligence modifier, chosen from the Advanced Elixirs table. The elixir's effects are triggered when someone drinks the elixir. As an action, a creature can drink the elixir or administer it to a willing or incapacitated creature. You create your advanced elixirs using alchemist supplies that you must have on your person, and any elixir you create with this feature lasts until it is used or until the end of your next long rest. The advanced elixirs, there's only 6 of them. So it's a d6. So for number 1, it's sedation. Any effect that causes the drinker to be charmed or frightened is suppressed for 10 minutes. During that time, the drinker is also indifferent about creatures that it is hostile toward. This indifference ends if the target is attacked or harmed by a spell, or if it witnesses any of its friends being harmed. Number 2 is restoration. The drinker can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blind, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Sublimation is 3. The drinker is affected by the gaseous form spell for 10 minutes. 4 is concealment. The drinker is under the effects of the non-detection spell for 1 hour. 5 is resting. The drinker immediately falls asleep for 1 minute if willing. The effect ends on a target early if it takes damage or someone uses an action to shake or slap it awake. If a target remains asleep for the full duration, that target gains the benefit of a short rest, and it can't be affected by this potion again until it finishes a long rest. And finally, for 6, is energy resistance. The drinker gains resistance to one energy type of its choice for 10 minutes. That energy type must be acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Next up is chemical mastery. By 15th level, you have been exposed to so many chemicals that they pose little risk to you, and you can create new masterful potions. You gain resistance to acid and poison damage, and you are immune to the poisoned condition. When you spend a spell slot to create an experimental elixir, you can do so as a bonus action. At the end of a long rest, You can create 2 masterful potions, one chosen from the Masterful Elixirs Table 1 and one chosen from the Masterful Elixirs Table 2. The potion's effects are triggered when someone drinks the potion. As an action, a drinker can drink the potion or administer it to a willing or incapacitated creature. You create your masterful elixirs using alchemist supplies that you must have on your person, and any elixir that you create with this feature lasts until it is used or until the end of your next long rest. So for table 1 there is 8, and 8 you can choose, and for table 2 there is only 6. Hello. Darcy is right next to me. Wanting attention. Alright, for the Masterful Elixirs Table 1, number 1 is Stone Skin. The drinker has resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for 1d4 times 10 minutes. Number 2 is Speed. The drinker is under the effects of the haste spell for 1 minute. 3 is Liberation. The drinker is affected by the freedom of movement spell for 8 hours. 4 is Vitality. The drinker is affected by the Greater Restoration spell. 5 is Resurrection. You can administer this potion to a creature that has died within the last hour. That creature returns to life with 1 hit point. This spell can't return to life a creature that has died of old age, nor can it restore any missing body parts. 6 is Enhancement. The drinker chooses 1 ability score. The chosen ability score raises by 2, as well as the maximum for that score for 1 hour. 7 is Shape-Shifting. The drinker is transformed into a beast of its choice, as if under the effects of the Polymorph spell, for 1d4 times 10 minutes. 8 is Disenchantment. All spells as well as all curses affecting the drinker end. And then Masterful Elixirs Table 2. Number 1 is Resurgence. The drinker regains 80 hit points. This potion also ends blindness, deafness, and any diseases affecting the target. Number 2 is True Sight. The drinker has True Sight, notices secret doors hidden by magic, and can see into the ethereal plane, all out to a range of 120 feet for 1 hour. 3 is Etherealness. The drinker is affected by the etherealness for up to 1 hour. 4 is Regeneration. The drinker regains 5d8 plus 15 hit points, and its severed body members are restored. 5 is Youth. The drinker's physical and apparent age is reduced by 1d6 plus 6 hours to a minimum of 13 years. Each time a creature subsequently drinks this potion, only its apparent age is reduced without extending the drinker's lifespan. 6 is Spell Immunity. The drinker is affected by any spell of 5th level or lower for 1 minute. Alright, so what do I think of this subclass? I'm just bringing up the Artificer Alchemist, the official one, so we can compare, contrast. Alright, so story-wise, I like it. I'll go into if it's too close and stuff later. But let's see if things are too overpowered or underpowered. I just want to check something else out. Right. Makes sense. So the tool of proficiency, that makes sense. The alchemist spells, I like those because it's a pretty good even split between healing and damage. Let's see, experimental elixirs. I really enjoy that. I like that it's 3, and then they increase at higher levels. And I think these are added on top of the other ones in the later in the class, which I kind of like. It seems like it's a lot, but I think that's what the alchemist needs. And I like how it's still mainly randomized. It's longer lists, so more good or bad effects. And I like how it's not just beneficial, there's also detrimental, so you can also harm people. And it's usually rare or randomized unless you use a spell slot to create one. So I don't think that's too overpowered or underpowered, unless, like, I don't know, I don't think even if you get all of one, it would make it work better. It's a very nice support. Alchemical savant words. So whenever you cast a spell or create an item, I like that. It's adding, creating an item. That the bonus, there is a bonus, and it must be to restoring hit points, damage roll, or dealing damage of acid, fire, necrotic, or poison. So it really, even if it's a created item, it still needs to abide by those rules, I would say. So that's a lot more helpful, I think. Unless it means those are... No, it's also using the normal crafting rules. That's good. Might make it a little overpowered at 5th level, but that should be pretty good. Improved regents. That's pretty nice. Okay, so I think the bold ones, because it's bold and unbold, I think the bolds are mainly like the new stuff that they're adding on. So at improved regents, you get the advanced elixirs. And you get a total up to a number of potions equal to your intelligence modifier. This is at 9th level. So at experimental elixirs, this would be 5 for experimental elixirs, and then here you might have another 5, so total of 10. That's a lot, but I think that makes sense because this is kind of what the alchemist needs to be. So these are more powerful elixirs. There's only one shorter table, so you should get most of them. I don't think those are too overpowered or underpowered. And then finally is chemical mastery, which you get masterful potions. And it looks like you choose rather than roll. Let me see with the advanced. I think you roll. No, you choose. Okay. So for advanced and masterful, you choose, which kind of makes sense because it shows that you're getting more proficient in it, becoming an expert at crafting potions. And so you can choose, be like, oh yeah, I know this and this and this goes together to make an energy resistance of fire or something. And so here at 15th level, I think further on, it's you get 2 masterful, and then it'll be probably about 5 advanced, and then this is at 15th level, so it's 7, so that would be about 14 total here. That's a lot, but I think that's good. And then 8 at 18th, so 8 plus 2 plus 5, so it's a total of 15. That is a lot to keep track of, but you're very powerful and it makes sense. Also, the masterful elixirs are pretty powerful, pretty nice. Like polymorphing, resurrecting, giving people hit points or regeneration or spell immunity, and giving them greater speed. And then for advanced, things like gaseous form or more resting. Alright, so I don't think it's too overpowered or underpowered. I think the story is cool. If it's too close to another's subclass, there is an official subclass that is exactly the same name and almost exactly the same features. So there's the actual Alchemist, same tool proficiency, same spells. Let's see here. Similar experimental elixir, except you can, you only have 1 at 3rd level, 2 at 6th, and 3 at 15th. It's a lot less than they did, because they have 3 at 3rd, 3 at 3rd, and then by 6 it's 4, and then 15th it's 7, because at 5th, at 9th you get 5, at 6th you get, at 12th you get 6, 7 at 15th, and 8 at 18th. So that's a lot more. And it's only a D6 of mainly good, of beneficial, what they would say beneficial experimental elixirs. The healing is a bit better. Let's see here. So most of, I want to make sure my time of the video, because sometimes at like a certain time it shorts out. So it has most of them, but it also has a couple more. So I think the first 6 are the same, but the next 12 are different, and I like that. And I like the detrimental elixirs. That's different. And then it has the Alchemical Savant, which is the same. It's only 4 spells though, which is a bit weaker. And then at 9th level it gets Restorative Regents, where here it's improved, and that's with the that gives you people the temporary hit points. And here in official, it's you can cast Lesser Restoration, which is nice. And then 15th is Chemical Mastery, which here is the same name. And that you have resistance to acid and poison and are immune to the poison condition, but you also can cast Greater Restoration and heal without expending a spell slot. Whereas they don't have that, but you can have more elixirs, which I like. So it's mainly more of an expansion on the official Alchemist. It's a lot more elixirs and stuff that you might have to keep track of, but I think that's what the Alchemist kind of needs, unless you want to use a lot of downtime to create more craft more official potions, which you could do, but I feel like most campaigns you don't use a lot of downtime, because there's usually a time frame that the dungeon master is wanting you to go through, and so it's like, oh yeah, if you don't do this, this, and this by the end of the week, then the bad guy might be able to do this, this, and this and become more powerful, and you can't do anything. Yeah. Let's see here. There's that. So this improves upon it so that you can craft your own potions, and much more. You might have to keep track of them, but I think that's a fun thing to keep track of. And I think that's something that the Wizards of the Coast dropped the ball on. That might be a little uncommon, unusual, or disliked opinion. That's just my opinion, of course. I found this subclass on Reddit. I will post a link of the post and the link of the music that I'm putting underneath. I hope you like that, as well as the name, who wrote this or who expanded upon this. It says here the credits are Dimitri Burmak at r/Imaginary Scholars. Put that in the description as well. Of course, it's very close to the original Alchemist Artificer, but I think it is enough of a deviation or expansion that I think it's good. I might like it a little more. That might be neat. Alright, so that's the end of my first round of homebrew subclasses that I have. I've got a lot more, probably less Artificer, but that's okay. So I will continue on. I am going to be taking a little bit of a break from this. I'm going to continue doing videos next week and kind of the week after. But next week I'm going to do a little more PSA, because I think I have some things that I kind of want to say and see if there is any pushback or response. And then the week after I will be making like a kind of a promo or trailer for this channel. Hopefully that's a fun one. And then I'll go back to Barbarian. I can choose what that is now, or I'm going to wait until in 2 weeks. So it is a bit of a break for me to kind of step back, see what's working, what's not, and then hopefully continue on with this. If you guys like this, of course, share and like and comment and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And if you hated it or were annoyed by it, send it to people you are annoyed by. I really hope you enjoyed this. This is this idiot. He is speaking, and he speaks in third person, singular, or first person. I can do that too. I guess I'm not that much of an idiot. Anyway, this was the Alchemist Artificer homebrew expansion on the official Alchemist Artificer subclass. I really hope you liked this. I look forward to reading your comments if you have any. Thank you, all three of you, for watching. There's probably more. Maybe not. Probably not. See you next week as I do a little bit of a PSA. I already said that. And yeah, see you next week. Alright, bye. This idiot out.